has Ramonda changed since the events of Black Panther, The Blip, Avengers Endgame, and the loss of her son?
I think there's been a change of Ramonda from Black Panther to Wakanda Forever, in that now that she's experienced the loss of her children during the blip, that she's much more protective. I mean, she had lost her husband previously, but with the dual loss of her children going before her, I think she's very protective of them, of them physically, of them emotionally and spiritually. And also, in addition to that, she has to rise up and be as protective in terms of that leadership role for a nation who's lost their leader and king and beloved king. So she has to assuage, be a balm in Gilead for her people as well.
And how does Ramonda support Shuri through the loss? And how did you and Letitia support one another during these deeply emotional scenes?
In the making of the film, it's interesting, on camera and off camera. There's some mirroring that goes on. It was a measure of support that Ramonda Angela had to offer Shuri Letitia. She's a young woman. She's coming into herself, and Ramonda wants to offer her wisdom, the ability to discern the things that she needs, not to hide, but to lean into them. And in leaning into them and accepting the loss of her brother, or not taking for granted or less than the ancestors, the old ways, a quiet moment, a moment to yourself to reflect, and to recall that life isn't over because the physical aspect has disappeared, but in this humanity we're more than just physical. We are spirit, we are body, and we are soul. And she is concentrating only on the physical aspect of human being, of her brother. And there'll be no peace in that, only.
How did it feel to return to the Black Panther set and reunite with director Ryan Coogler and the returning cast members?
Returning to the Black Panther set was like Christmas, New Year's, Easter, Thanksgiving, birthday, all in one. It was a great big gift, great big wonderful gift. It was some of the most thrilling times I've had in my career. These individuals are stunning in their talent and in their heart, both on the camera and behind the camera, every single person. And it's just waking up with a great big smile and just full of joy every day, because you're going to do what you love, and you're going to do it to the best of your ability. And it's all collectively, it's going to be done with such excellence.
Who is Namor, and how does Ramonda first encounter him?
Namor is a new character that we are introduced to, and Ramonda is introduced to. He lives in this secret world, and it's interesting because Wakanda for so long was a secret to the rest of the world, but Namor and his world is a secret from even Ramonda, and we are light years ahead of everyone else. But they are a community that suffered a great loss, and so in order to strengthen themselves, they have retreated under the waters, and they've acclimated to that environment. But there's an occurrence in the movie with vibranium, with the world, that brings all of us into an awareness of each other. And it's sort of a delicate, dangerous dance of who's going to be in control of what we want, of the things that he wants, for his to remain secret, of what I want in terms of my daughter back. So it's what will we do to get what we want. And and how far will we go?
How does Black Panther Wakanda Forever lean into powerful female characters, and how important is that for future generations?
In Black Panther, female representation was important as well as it is in Wakanda Forever. To T'Challa, it was very important. He had the wise counsel of his mother. He had the the scientific technology of his sister. He had the protection of his general. He had the love of his heart in Nakia. And now in Wakanda Forever, now that the king is gone, it's incumbent on these women who've always been there to support and to be vocal, have a voice in this nation, in each other's lives. It's important that we carry on, and the story leans into that feminine and every aspect of the feminine, which is the intellect, the physical strength, the beauty, the wisdom, the grace.
And what do you hope audiences take away from seeing this film?
I hope audiences by this film will be enriched. They'll leave the theater. They would have had a great time in terms of entertainment. It will be one of the best experiences they've ever had. But also, I hope that they'll be able to see themselves. They'll see themselves in some of the relationships that are on stage, whether it's relationship with their mother or relationship with loved ones who've passed on, and how to deal with that, in relationship with the future and what a potential, that there's always a future and a hope, as we see at the very end of this movie, that life is continuing and it goes on, and those who have passed on are part of who we are in making up who we are. And so they're always still remain with us. So it's fantastic, out of this world entertainment, but they're also a moment where you can reflect. And in both of those worlds, you are enriched in your movie going experience.